Hello and welcome to another Alpha Clash video here at Hobbies and Happiness. My name's Dan.
And I'm Jim. Today we're going over our top 10 favorite cards from the first set.
All right. This is the time. This is the time that you've all maybe been waiting for. Maybe not. But you've been waiting. I've been waiting too. Because I'm interested to know what Jim's cards are. So, well, like Jimbo said, we are going over our top 10 cards from the first set of the Alpha Clash trading card game. So basically, we're just going to go through each card and we're just going to give our reasons why we included it on our list. So we're going to go in snake order. So I'll start with my number 10, then we'll go over to Jim, his 10, then we'll go his 9, and then we will just alternate back and forth until we get to our number 1. So before we get there, hey, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that bell notification so you can be notified when we release more Alpha Clash content. And we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe for you. So again, don't forget, hit all those buttons, get all those notifications so you can be notified when we release more content in the future. So if you haven't checked it out, we've done all of our set reviews. So our set review is done for the entire set. And man, that was a lot, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun going over each card, and now is where the where it meets. This is the crunch time, and we're gonna go over our top 10. So with all that being said, we're gonna start at the bottom. So actually, before we do that, we're gonna give an honorable mention. Yes. All right. So we talked about the Clash buffs, and we know they're very, very powerful. So this list will not include Clash buffs, nor will it include any of the contenders. Yep. So this is all the other cards. So we said we're just going to say the Clash buffs are universally powerful, and they're just going to be the honorable mentions.
The Power 5.
The Power 5. I like it. So the Clash buffs are not going to be on this list. Okay. So that being said, we're going to start at number 10. My number 10 is Haven Bountiful Collector. Wow. Haven Bountiful Collector is my number 10. I just think she's a really powerful card. She's a great card. Only card that ramps you in the game. So she's a 2 cost, 1/2, 1 required resource, rogue. Has that trigger enter. You can put any card from your hand into your resource zone engaged. And then that trigger defeat is kind of nice too. That's just kind of that's the cherry on top, in all honesty. Yep. So yeah, that's my number 10. I just think she's a pretty powerful card, and there's really no getting around it, in all honesty. So she's my number 10. So what first of all, what do you think? Do you like the card?
Yeah, I think she's easily one of the best cards in the entire game. Okay. Like you said, there's no other card that can do that effective ramping right now. Yeah,
so I'm interested to see what other cards we're going to get in the future that have this similar type of effect. Yep. So that being said, Jim, what is your number 10? What's your number 10?
My number 10 card is Haven Bountiful Collector.
Is it really?
Yeah, it
is. So we don't know. Like, I don't know his list. He doesn't know mine. So this is one reason I've been very interested to get to this video.
Yeah, you can see it. It's at the top right there.
All right. That's that's your number 10, huh? All right, perfect. We agree on that one.
Beautiful.
All right, beautiful. So Jim, what's your number 9 then? Let's go to number 9.
Okay. So for me, I ended up going with Weber's Binoculars.
Okay.
This card is so low cost.
Okay.
With so much upside.
Okay.
You're able to so when the attached Clash card attacks, you're able to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and reveal an accessory or a Clash card with the cost 2 or less and put it into your hand. That's targeting a ridiculous amount of stuff. And when you look at how many good cards are 2 and less, and let's say you found a Haven Bountiful Collector. Yeah. You're just like, yeah, let's go ahead and take that real quick. Weber's Binocular, just a very powerful card and gets you so much value for being really cheap.
Yeah. He's correct. I agree. I agree with everything you said. I love that card. But my number 9 is going to be Sharpshooter Moxie. So Sharpshooter Moxie is my number 9. So Sharpshooter Moxie is a 1-drop. It is a black trap accessory. It's a common card, and it says counterplay. You may activate this trap if the clash card being played has an initial resource cost of 2 or less. Card is sent to oblivion instead of entering play. So it's a pretty conditional kill spell, but the amount of things that it hits. This is a huge card, especially in the early game. So I love everything about this card. I just think it's very, very powerful, and it has taken me out a lot of games. It's killed a lot of my stuff. So that's why my number 9 is Sharpshooter Moxie.
You know what I love about our 9 spots?
Yeah.
Normally I go for the counter spells and Dan goes for the value engines, and it's just like we swapped it.
Yes. Yeah. So that's my number 9, Sharpshooter Moxie. And then we're going to go to number 8. And so my number 8 is Lefty's Last Stand. So that is my number 8. Lefty's Last Stand is a 2-cost, 1 required resource. It's a quick action, uncommon rarity. It says counterattack, prevent all clash damage that would be dealt by target attacking clash card during this clash. I love everything about this card. I mean, yes, it could be better with some other stuff, but it's phenomenal value. Your opponent most time is not going to expect this card. It's a very, very solid card, and it can really save your bacon and just give you that extra turn, or maybe extra 2 turns depending on the game, right? Yeah. So Lefty's Last Stand, I think, is just a phenomenal value. You're getting a lot for only 2. So that's my number 8. And Jim, what's your number 8?
Oh man, I definitely went a completely different route.
Okay,
like we're gonna do fog effects. I went with Moxie Fully Loaded.
Oh, okay, all right.
I went with the big Moxie card here.
Okay,
8 cost, 6 attack, 7 defense. It has flight. It has, if you control 2 or more unattached weapons, you can reduce the cost of this card by a black cost. And then it has trigger enter. You may attach 1 weapon you control to this card without paying its weapon attach cost. And then it has the resource to the resource cost to activate traps you control is also reduced.
Yes.
So not only are you reducing the value of this card for having your weapons out there, just, they're not attached, so you're not getting value from it right then and there. But when you now enter, you're able to throw your attachments on top of this card. So it's coming into play and getting everything that you've already been, well, not everything. It's preparing you to get your stuff and initially throw on the cost for it with attaching it. So very powerful card. It does exactly what you want to do inside this deck already. And I think this card is easy top 8 for me.
You're not wrong here. That is a very, very powerful card. You're spending a lot of resources, but you're getting a lot. You're getting a lot of value for that. For
you
sure.
are getting value, especially if you're able to reduce the cost and then just be able to attach a weapon on top of it.
So that being said, I mean, when we did our set reviews, there was one color, like the blue color in particular, is a color that doesn't play toward your strengths or just the type of deck that you would play. What about a card like this? Do you like building decks around cards like this?
I do like this because it instantly shows you the synergies and how you want to play the cards or play your deck as a whole. And this is just a top end, do exactly that, and it's powerful.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, it is a phenomenally powerful card for sure. So that is Jim's number 8. So now we're going to move on to 7. What is Jim's number 7? What's your number 7 card here?
Okay, so I went with Mean Streak Intercepting.
Okay, all right. All right.
So during the set review, this card, we were both like, oh my goodness, this card is bonkers, right? And before that, I didn't even know about this card. Learned about it, And
and real quick, that's the one thing I love about doing set reviews is we have to sit down and go over every card. I think it's good for us just to be able to look at every card and just evaluate it. I just love it. I love it for that. So sorry, go ahead.
all good. And when we first went over it, I even told Dan before, I'm like, I don't really think blue's for me.
Yeah, right.
You know, I learned about how it was working with the streak counters, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget so much stuff. I'm gonna be missing. We don't miss triggers here.
Yeah, we don't. No, we don't. We 100% don't.
I definitely
do.
And so this guy is a 3/3 for 3 interception.
Yep.
Trigger enter. Put a streak counter on this card, so it's already playing to the pros of the deck as a whole.
The strengths of the deck, yeah.
And then it has once per turn during your primary phase, you may spend 2 blue. If you do, put a streak counter on target clash card you control, then draw 1 card.
It's just so good.
It is so low to the ground in terms of the 3-drop cost, and then just every other turn you can put 2 cost more into it to get the streak counters you want to be making your overall deck stronger, and then draw the card.
You're getting you're getting a lot.
So good.
It's so good. It's so good. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That is such a good card.
I love them.
There's the thing that hurts me about this list is I can only pick 10 cards.
You can only pick 10 cards.
You can only pick 10.
It's like if Dan doesn't have this on his list, he's like, I really wanted to.
I did.
It's so good.
Seriously, when we get done, there's so many cards. I'm like, I wish I could have put this on the list, but I did.
And before we started, I was like, oh yeah, I just put this stuff as honorable mention. He's like, that's a good idea.
yeah. So that being said, we're going to move to my number 7, and my number 7 is Weber's Binoculars. I brought Weber's Binoculars up a little bit. It's just such a good card. You get so much value for 1. Anytime I see Weber's Binoculars on board, I got to deal with it. I got to deal with it because you get so much value for 1. Okay, sure, I have to engage it every time. I don't care. I only pay. It doesn't matter. It's the amount of value you get is just it's unparalleled. I think you get so much. I mean, I can't add any more than what you say. It's just such a good card.
Such a good card.
So
go back a few minutes ago, listen to mine, and then you get it.
I was having a discussion with someone else in the Alpha Clash community, and I made a comment. I was like, Weber's Binoculars is like I could see that making its way to a ban list eventually. Like I think it's. Do I think it's gonna get banned? No, I don't. But like it's the one I could see it. I straight up could see it because.
Do you ban the problem or do you ban the support for the problem?
Right, exactly. Because I think if you're playing, there's so many decks that this just slots right into.
Oh, yeah, 100%,
it's just it's so 100%. Good. So yeah, that Weber's Binoculars is my number 7. So that being said, we're gonna move to my number 6.
Oh man.
My number 6 is a Clash Ground. It is Grant Park, Chicago. So when we were doing our set review, I mean, Jim really convinced me. This is it's just such a good card, and it's not just that the power level of this card. It can get so many different things. It's so versatile and can really find any solution that you're looking for in the moment. And then the cherry on top is that it just buffs your cards. Because we were talking about the Havens, Haven Resourceful Helper, any of the Havens. Those Havens go from a 1/2 to a 1/4.
It's huge.
It's insane.
Huge. Yep.
So it's just such a very powerful card. Again, not just in and of itself, but what you get. Sure, I'm paying 3, but I'm paying 3 to find the solution that I need at the time.
Yep.
It's such good value. It's such a good card. So for that reason, it is Grant Park, Chicago is my number 6. So Jim, what is your number 6? What's your number 6?
All right, so now this has happened twice. All right,
okay.
My spot for 8 was a cost of 8.
Okay.
My spot for 6 is a cost of 6.
Okay.
We have Clarity Foreseen Fate.
Okay, interesting. Okay, all right.
Now I know during that video overview for the white stuff, I was kind of like, I'm kind of like bringing myself. Even at that point, the card is so ridiculously powerful.
Yes.
It is a 6 cost for 5, and it's exclusive, so it's legendary. It has trigger enter. You can give your alpha clash cards +2/+0 until end of turn, or your rogue clash cards +2/+0 until end of turn. But the very important part of this card is once per turn during your primary phase, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and if you do, add one of them into your hand and put the other to the bottom of the deck. It's like, I feel like that's all I need to say about this card in order for people to understand how good
it is. Yes,
it's every single turn you now get this added value. And even if you want to utilize it as, okay, I have quite a few creatures out on board, I'm gonna play her, just start swinging with them. I'm gonna clear the board, we're gonna play a little bit of control here, and then just start building up for the end game. Phenomenal card.
Yep. Pretty much. I agree. Yeah, it's clarity. Clarity is such an amazing card, and may or may not be on my list as well. We'll see. But yeah, that's clarity. I can't disagree with anything that he just said. So that was your number 6.
Yes.
So now we're gonna move on to your number 5.
Oh, man,
what's your number?
What's
your number 5? Yes, top 5.
So the first time I was going to pick him up from this list, I spelled the name wrong.
Okay.
But it's Sonaro, the Awakened Breaker.
Okay. All right.
He's a 4/3 for 5 with attack trigger. This card gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and you draw a card.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But
then he has, if your contender is a green alpha, you may ready a clash card you control with cost 1 or less. So now you can restand your card if you're controlling a magnate or any other future green alpha contenders. He instantly becomes on attack 5/4. 5/4, draw a card. Beautiful card. Phenomenal.
Yes, correct. I love everything about this card. I'll just say it. I'll say it now. My favorite combo with this card is you attacking with a 1-drop, then you drop Sonaro, attack with Sonaro, draw your card, buff Sonaro, untap. But on that 1-drop, you've already clash buffed that 1-drop. You clash buff the 1-drop, play Sonaro, attack with Sonaro, untap the 1-drop, and then swing. You can get an absurd amount of damage.
So much value.
It is absolutely crazy. Love that card. Okay, so let's go to my number 5. My number 5 is another Clash Ground, is New York City. I love everything about New York City. New York City is a 3 cost, 2 required resource. New York City Earth Clash Ground. It's a rare card. It says alpha clash cards get +2/+0 and flight, and then it says trigger enter, you draw a card. It's pretty basic. It's pretty basic what's on it, but it is this is a linchpin to a lot of aggressive alpha strategies. There's a lot of times where it's like I'm literally just waiting for New York City to just be able to end the game. And like New York City has won me games.
You got like 6 creatures out on board. You're
crazy.
Like +12 damage.
Correct. And I don't even care if my opponents have interception or flight because I'm winning that. I'm winning that battle. So if I clear the board, whatever, that's fine, right? It's just you can get in for an absurd amount of damage. It replaces itself in his hand. I love everything there is about New York City. So what do you think of New York City? Do you like that card?
The card's phenomenal. The amount of damage that you can just swing out, like you're saying, with the aggro decks, you just swarm the field out, and now you're multiplying this card even harder. Phenomenal card.
So we're on to number 4. So my number 4 is Here Comes the Boom. Here Comes the Boom is my number 4. It's a 4 cost, 2 required red resources. It is a basic action, and it's an epic rarity card. Deal 5 damage to all clash cards. It's unconditional. I mean, I guess it's kind of conditional removal, but it's like the one big board wipe of the set. It's not a board wipe, but it kind of, for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a board wipe.
It doesn't completely clear the board, but it gets rid of a lot of stuff.
But it's better than that because this can slot into a lot of torque strategies as well.
Yeah.
This is just so much better than a board wipe in the context of Alpha Clash as a game. So, I mean, especially for it being the only card like this in the set, I mean, it's one of a kind. That being said, that makes it that much more valuable, right, as to a player. It's just there's nothing to not like about this card. It's just so good. It's so good. So yeah, Here Comes the Boom. I love that card. What do you think about Here Comes the Boom?
So, all right, when I was making my list, I kind of limited myself in terms of I wanted to find 2 cards from every single color because there's so many good cards in every single color, and I wanted to show a little bit of love to all of them.
Sure.
And 100% Here Comes the Boom. All right, it didn't make it on my list, but it was really close. I'll just do spoilers.
Yeah.
It's extremely good. It's the only board wipe, right? And it plays to the synergies of the Torque deck. It's an amazing card.
So going off of what you just said about wanting to show love, I did as well. It's just I didn't limit myself to I needed to. Here Comes the Boom was the only red card for me on my list. There's so many cards that there's just so many good cards. There really is. It's hard to nail it down. So a little bit of spoilers there, but it's hard to limit yourself. So that being said, what's your number 4 then? What's your 4?
Ooh, you know, in all of my card game history, I don't think I would have ever put a green card in my top 4 in a game.
Okay.
But here it is.
Okay.
Kagan the Dragon.
Okay, I'm interested now. All right.
So I love destroy cards, right? Target destroy. This is technically better because the card's not defeated. Right, it's sent to oblivion.
Right.
He's a 5/5 flyer for 6, insanely big boy. And if we compare it to other cards we've seen for 5/5 for 5 with flight, for 1 extra cost, destroy something. So this are there any other cards that are just straight up sent to oblivion on this big of a card?
Nope. There's not.
Which is why he's in the top 4.
Yeah.
He's just extremely powerful. Removal on a stick. If it makes it to where your opponent has something way bigger than you, he gets rid of it. You don't have to worry about, my creatures aren't big enough.
Right.
No, get it out of here. Get it off the board. It's gone. It's not deal 5 damage like a boom. I mean, sure, he dies to the boom.
Unless you're playing Magnate, in which he sticks around. He's got 1 left.
Exactly.
Yeah, but still, you're right.
Great card.
Yep.
That's why he's my number 4.
Yep. Love everything about that card. All right. That being said, now we are into we are into top 3. We're in the top 3. So what is your number 3 then, Jim?
So when you said Here Comes the Boom was your only card from Red on your list, I instantly was upset.
I don't blame you. I understand.
I was upset because
there's a lot of good. There's also a lot of good cards.
When I was first going through it, I had 5 red cards, and I'm like, "Okay, I need to break it down."
That doesn't surprise me for Jim. Does not surprise me.
I originally did have 5, but I was like, "Okay, they have Lightning Strike." Kind of, but I can't put it into the list, even though I love bolt effects.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
But my number 3 pick is Machina Unstoppable Force.
Okay. All right.
He's a 6/6 for 7. Oh, so that means he's not good, right?
That's
so he has Barrage too.
That is very good. That is so good.
When this card attacks, you may deal damage equal to the initial attack power divided as you choose among up to 2 target clash cards. Guys, he's huge removal on a stick.
Yes.
You come in, you blow up one of their cards by just attacking it, and then you can now divide 6 more damage amongst however you want.
Yeah.
There's no other card like it.
Yes.
Which I guess, kind of makes sense as to why it's in the top 10 list.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. You can go face, blow up 2 cards out on board, or go face, destroy a big 6 buff dude, and or even swing out at something, and then add that 6 more damage on top of the card. Sure, he could potentially die,
but this is taking everything
worth it.
out. Yeah, it's taking everything
destroying
out.
so many things.
Yeah.
I love machine gunning stuff down,
Yes.
and I could just be like 2 here, 4 here, 6 here, nothing here, 1 and 5. I love the versatility that this card has, and yeah, he's beautiful.
So I'll tell you the one reason I did not include him on my list is it costs 7. And it's interesting listening to Jim too, because he moans and groans so many times about, but it costs 7, guys.
But it's worth it.
But it costs 6.
It's worth it. It's worth it, Dan. He comes out and he destroys stuff.
Yeah, like in a game that every card has haste. All right, yes.
If he didn't have haste, he's not on the list. Okay. He's garbage if he doesn't have haste.
Right. Yes. So I'm just throwing shade. I'm trolling here because Jim likes to do it, so I'm giving it right back.
Yeah.
But that is literally the only reason that I did not include him.
Yeah.
Such a powerful card. Yeah. Such a powerful card. But that being said, we're going to go to my number 3. And my number 3 is Sonoro, the Awakened Breaker. I love everything about this card. Like I said, my favorite combo. I love comboing that up with a Clash buff on an already Clash buffed 1-drop. Yeah. I mean, think about Clash buffing that 1-drop. Okay, drawing a card, dropping Sonoro, or drawing into Sonoro, then dropping Sonoro, attacking with Sonoro, Clash buffing Sonoro, drawing another card off his effect. You're drawing a ton. Oh, it's crazy.
So good.
It's so good. I love Sonoro. Sonoro, one of my favorite cards on the set. I just love everything about this card. And I mean, again, you know my love for the color green. I mean, do you see the color green in Alpha Clash like the color green in Magic?
No.
Yeah, I know.
At all.
It's very, very, very different. It's very different. Yeah. I think the color green in Alpha Clash is more akin to the color red in a game like Magic. So, that being said, that's where I'm like, it's funny that I'm finding myself gravitating toward the color green in Alpha Clash. So yeah, I love everything there is about Sonoro. All right, so that was my number 3. We did your number 3.
Yes.
All right. So now we go to my number 2.
Yep.
My number 2, and Jim, in all honesty, I was surprised this card was lower on your list. It's Clarity for Sync Fate. Yep. Clarity for Sync Fate. I honestly think Clarity for Sync Fate is just one of the most powerful cards from the set. Yep. Just on a pure value basis, the ability to just draw so many cards, and then with the potential to win the game with that trigger enter ability. I think she's just insanely powerful. Even with the stat line, there's not much to not like about the card, in all honesty. Yeah. The potential to just, if she sticks around, you're drawing so many cards off of this card for free. You're not paying anything additional, like some other cards. It's just, she's universally powerful, period, end of story. So I love everything about Clarity for Seeing Fate. So what is your number 2? What's your number 2?
Ooh, all right. For me, I went with one of the cards that I didn't even know existed before the set review.
Okay.
All right. She is absolutely beautiful of a card.
Okay.
Flare, Explosive Combatant.
That's where she is. I knew she was on your list. I knew it.
Number 2. Yep. So it's like, what could number 1 be? We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you like about Flare?
So Flare, aside from this artwork being absolutely stunning.
So many cards. So many great arts.
In a bunch of my games, right, I'm always making my characters blonde hair, female, where the armor, if I was going to pick armor, is white or silver with gold trim on it.
Yeah.
And this is it.
That's it, yeah.
This is it, right? Yes. Especially if I could be a fire mage. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I like burning stuff in games. Not in real life. That's illegal. But keep burning stuff in games.
Yes.
So she's a 6/6 for 6 flight and attack trigger. Deal 2 damage to all other Clash cards.
Mm-hmm.
On attack, being able to deal this 2 damage to everything. Sure, it can hit your own stuff, but that could also be for your benefit when running Torque decks. And there's, unless it's Here Comes the Boom, or Here Comes the Boom, to deal 5 to everything. This is just every single turn be able to deal 2 to all the cards, and then be able to attack on top of it. You're able to take out those 8 toughness creatures. So Flare, she is everything I'm looking for, whether it's in video games or in card games. Yeah, I just love her.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal card, and like I said, I knew she was going to be on your list, but she is such a good card, such a very, very powerful card for that. So, all right, so that was your number 2. So before we say our number ones, so there was one card. There's a few cards that are not on my list that I really wanted to be on the list. The one that I really wanted was Main Streak Intercepting. That was one that I really wanted to fit on here somewhere, but was just not able to make room for it. I love everything about that card. Do you have one honorable mention that really just didn't make its way onto your list?
The 1-drop Flare.
Okay.
To be able to exert and be able to ping something down.
Not surprised.
I love that effect.
Not surprised.
And in Magic, I played a deck called Machine Gun Burn.
Yeah.
And creatures that are just, whenever you play an instant or sorcery or non-creature spell, be able to hit any target or just go face for 1.
Yeah.
And you're looking to play a bunch of these effects. So to be able to tap her to target anything, I do love those effects.
Okay. So. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. So, all right, drum roll. We're going to go to number 1. So Jim, we're going to start off with Jim's number 1.
Okay.
So Jim, what is your number 1 top card from the set? What do you think?
For me, because this card has so much potential going into the future, my number 1 is already on your list.
Okay.
You've already talked about this card.
All right.
Grant Park, Chicago.
I'm not surprised.
This card, guys. Dan already talked about it. 5 cost or less. During the overview, I talked this card up so much.
You did,
guys.
man.
It's so good. Like, what other tutor effect we got?
None.
None. What other tutor effect we got that's so crazy in terms of cost and less?
Yeah.
Sure, it's not any card,
right?
But 5 or less.
Yeah,
that's majority of the game.
Yeah.
Any clash card. So you search for any card you want. He was talking about the 1-drop Haven, or you could even pull out another 1-drop card that has the 2 attack, and then you give it, and you give it the +2 defense, and now it's just even crazier. But this card going into the future is going to be very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
You talk about cards that potentially could be banned, depending on what we see.
Yeah.
Being able to have those 4 extra copies of a card, essentially, it's an outstanding card, and I can't wait to see more from this game because of it.
Do you think Grant Park Chicago gets worse the more tutor effects we see? Or do you think that doesn't have any bearing on it, and it just gets better because we're seeing more cards at that 5 and less?
Yeah, I think even if they come out with more tutor effects, I still don't see this card being really weaker because it's that 5 or less.
Yeah.
And it's 3 cost.
I know.
Search for any 5 or less.
It's so good. But it's
so versatile.
Because, like, again, we've seen in other games, like a spell, a sorcery, you pay 3 to search, and that's it.
Yeah.
This you get more stuff with this. You get more value with this.
Exactly.
It's yeah.
And in those other games where you are paying that 2 to search for anything, it could also be 2 to put it on top of the deck.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it's really only the black tutors and Magic that put it directly into your hand.
Right.
This puts it directly into your hand.
Yep.
This card is phenomenal, and it's only one specific white. You can play this in so many decks. So many.
Do you splash white just for this?
do Splash White just for this. I think, depending, I can see it. But I guess like you still have to throw this in the back to be able to tap for.
But is that? Do you care?
Oh,
do you even care at that point?
Oh, man, it's hard to say. I don't know. Okay, depending on how good the cards are you can find, we're gonna be able to toolbox any 5 or less Clash cards.
That's the thing. Like you can toolbox. Oh, it's
now those cards that we were like, oh, this card's situational, or because it's like removal on a creature, it's like, well, now I go find that situation. I found that creature. I get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just get rid of whatever it is, because I hate that card, and you should feel bad because you're playing good cards. And I got rid of it.
Yeah.
So use this proactively. You use it for control. It's overall, universally, an amazing card.
Yep. Yeah, when we did our set review, Jim really talked this card up, and he talked me up on it too. Yeah, because I'm like, I thought it was just an okay card, and then we just started talking about it. I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of broken.
So were you surprised? Oh yeah, because you said it was A+ at the start, right?
Yeah, I'm like easy A. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, A+, and then
please
hold my beer. Pretty much is kind of what happened. It's a pretty phenomenal card. So I'm glad that's one that made it on both of our lists for sure. Where was that was number 6 on mine. So still onto my list. But now
I guess I could say, why was that card so low on yours?
Yeah. So that being said, we're going to move to my number 1.
Man, I'm excited.
My number 1, one of my favorite cards from the set. One of the best artworks that I think from the set. It is Kagan the Dragon.
There he is.
Kagan the Dragon. Are you surprised?
Honestly, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Because yes, I know he's really good.
Yeah.
But I was also like, but I think they're better cards.
Yeah. I love everything about this card. It's just it's a 5/5 flyer. Pick off when your stuff. I mean, in like the leagues that I've played in, and just in a lot of the games, there's a reason Kagan is in like every green deck. It's so prevalent. I mean, again, yes, it's the only card that has this type of effect so far, but it's so powerful. It's destroy on a stick on a 5/5 flyer. It's just
if they have something that's going to be able to stop your Kagan from attacking face, you're just like, that's not going to do it, boss.
Yeah.
And then you get in face and then potentially win that game.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah. Even if it's like, oh wait, he enters exerted. Okay. I mean, I've still blown up one of your things. Oh, you want to attack into it? Fine, I'll trade. It's okay. It's still a 2 for 1. Yeah,
2 for 1.
Exactly. That's fine. I mean, there's not a lot of downside to Kagan the Dragon, and it's just a universally powerful effect. So, so that is my number 1. Got some different colors. We only had one. We only had one agreement where we were at the same number, I think, and that was Haven. At our number 10. Yeah. At our number 10. Yeah. So we both had Haven Bountiful Collector at our number 10. I
was like, I wonder if
did not think that was going to happen in all honesty.
What was it? 4 or 5 cards were the exact same in terms of the top 10 overall?
I think so, because we both had Kagan.
Yep.
We both had Sonoro.
Yep.
We both had Weber's Binoculars.
Yep.
We both had Clarity Foreseeing Fate, Grant Park, and then Haven. So that's 6. We had 6. Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
And the other 4 that you had, I would have included them on my list if I could have, but I already told you about Machine of why. But there's just so many.
You want to talk about removal on a stick? What's living 12 damage?
Correct. Yeah. It's just this is the only difference is Kagan is unconditional.
Yep.
It's just straight unconditional removal. So, with that.
One thing I want to add.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I know I've talked a lot about Grant Park, Chicago, but one final thing is, and I didn't even think about it till just now.
Yes. Okay.
Since it's 5 or less, right?
Yeah.
If you turn 3 this, you can just be like, what am I doing my next turn? You pick the exact card that you're going to play on your following turn.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, that can be very important.
Yeah.
Whether it's you can play it this same turn or be like, okay, I pretty much know what he's going to do on the following turn.
Yeah.
But that 4-drop can just be really game changing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the tempo plays you can do with this as well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so versatile.
Yep.
It really, really is. Yeah, it's a good card. I know.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm done talking about Grand Park. You don't pay attention to my shirt. Nothing about Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna kick it to you guys. What do you all think? Do you agree with our top 10 lists? Do you disagree? Let us know your picks down below. Do you like our top picks? Do you think Jim's right? You think I'm right? What do you guys think?
I think we're all right. I'm all right.
I'm all right as well.
You guys all right?
All right. So let us know what you guys think down below. And again, don't forget, if you want to see more Alpha Clash content from us, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified when we release more Alpha Clash content in the future. And with that being said, we've got quite a few more Alpha Clash videos coming. We are working on a how to play video. We are working on a Clash kit. We are doing some Clash kit gameplay, and then we're gonna be brewing some decks. We're gonna be I'm excited to do some deck profiles because that's going to be interesting. I kind of want to do an exercise. I want to have Jim brew a few. I want me to brew a few, and then we'll go at it, and then we'll do some deck profiles as well. So look for more Alpha Clash content from us coming in the future. That being said, thanks everybody for hanging out with us today, and we'll catch you in the next Alpha Clash video. See everybody.
Take care.